Day 4, that sounds like day 8. How are you all? Thank you. We're here for a world premiere. Let's hear it. Thank you. My name is David Vella, and I want to welcome you to tonight's world premiere. Again, the world premiere. Of John Butler's PAPI CHULO. To begin, we want to acknowledge that tonight's event is taking place on the treaty territory of the Mississaugas of the New Credit and the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, and the Huron-Wendat. We are very, very grateful to have the opportunity to work in the community. This film is eligible for the Gross People's Choice Award, so please remember to vote. You can do that by going to tiff.net/vote. Pretty simple. We want to thank Bankside Films for providing us with the film, and a very special thank you as well to Screen Ireland for their generous support that they give us throughout the year. We are so proud to be presenting John Butler's latest film, PAPI CHULO here. You were probably all here for his first film, The Stag. Anybody? And then again, just 2 years ago for Handsome Devil. Anyone? I'm sure you're going to be delighted with tonight's film as well. Matt Bomer and Alejandro Patino are brilliant in this tale of two very different worlds colliding. When we saw this film, we were truly moved by the story, especially in these very trying times of of opposites, truly seeing the value in each other and the humanity we all share. Ladies and gentlemen, we're really lucky today to have the filmmaker in the house. Please join me in welcoming Mr. John Butler.
Hi, everybody. It's so nice to see you all here. If you think I'm nervous, you should see my mum. Where are you, bid? That's a 7.5-hour flight to get here, so if you're sitting near her, please laugh excessively at the right moments and cry at the other moments. No, it's an honor to be here for the third time. I want to thank David and Michelle Mahou, who's not present this evening, but for programming my films and showing showing such support for my career. It's really, it's very touching to get to come back to a festival like this 3 times on the bounce, and I really do appreciate it. I also want to thank Screen Ireland, Bankside and Headgear for putting their money where their mouth is. Lots of people, I think, like the script, but it takes real courage to support a comedy about loneliness, and I am indebted to them. I'm literally in debt. I owe them money. So thank you for that. I'll leave it there. The cast are here in the house. I cannot see them, but I do believe that to be the case. And they'll be down afterwards to answer some questions. For now, enjoy PAPI CHULO, and I will talk to you afterwards. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring back the filmmaker, Mr. John Butler.
Thank you all so much. Oh, I'm in bits. It's very gratifying to get your response, to get the response in the manner that you gave it. It's been such a long journey to get here, and yeah, it's kind of overwhelming actually. So thank you so much. I don't want to stand up here for a second longer without bringing some people down. Largely Irish crew on this film. We travel mob-handed, so this will take a few minutes. I hope you don't mind. We roll deep. My 2 creative collaborators, my dear friends. Producing this film is an extraordinary act of creativity, I have to say. Complex and difficult and requiring great emotional intelligence, and these 2 people have given me such support throughout my entire film career, and I love them dearly. Rebecca O'Flanagan and Rob Walpole. The film, I hope you agree, was really wonderfully cast, and I'm just so delighted for the first time at one of these things to have the casting directors here, the wonderful Alice Merlin and Barbara McCarthy. Will you come down and join us? Now there's a clatter of Irish people. So let's just get through this. From Treasure Entertainment, Claire McCauley, and I have to give a particular shout out to the work of Sarah Gunn in clearing the music and doing so much more besides. Will you both come down and take a wee bow? You know, I think the definition of a film's nationality is the creative talent that's involved, and as such, I'm so proud of this as an Irish film, and I think it's a real example of the kind of breadth of our creativity. And you know, part of what informs that was the idea of bringing Irish crew over to America, which these guys can speak about in more detail. But I'm thrilled to have some of them here this evening. Everything you need to know about our sound man is contained in these two facts. He doesn't drink alcohol, but on the first week of the shoot, he very badly sprained his ankle running into a bar. Hugh Fox, where are you? Come on down. Graham Scully is a superb person to have on a film set. I think we've done 3 films together, and he's a fantastic guy. Graham, where are you? How's the leg, Foxy? We'll get you a water, don't worry. I can say this because I didn't operate the camera. I think this film looks beautiful, and that is all down to the wonderful work of Mr. Cathal Waters. And lastly, I'm inclined to introduce these two guys together, but I think I'll do them one at a time. When was it? Only a year ago, Alejandro came into the offices and put himself on tape, and I swear to God, he opened his mouth and he said, my name is Alejandro Patino, I'm 5'7", and I stopped the tape, and I was like, that is the guy. I think he's a stunningly subtle actor, and he's a wonderful human being, and we're all giant fans of him. Alejandro Patino, come on out. Oh, he's really milking it.
Test.
And lastly, and so importantly, a man who's taught me so much about the business of being on a film set, sure, of course, wonderfully technical actor who has talent and charisma in spades, and we've all seen him do such incredible things in front of a camera and on stage. But he's taught me so much about being a good person as well. He has limitless patience and kindness and decency, and is an absolute joy to work with. He's a hero of mine, and I'm so proud to call him a friend as well, Mr. Matt Bomer. So I'm absolutely spent. I'm an emotional husk. So good luck getting any answers out of me, but perhaps somebody else will talk.
No, it's just starting. I'm going to ask a few questions, and then we'll come to the audience for a couple of questions. We don't have a lot of time, unfortunately, but we will get to a couple for sure from the audience. So start thinking of them, and I'll come to you in a sec. John, I want to start with you. You not only directed the film, but you wrote the film as well. And what I love about the films that you've written, and you've written and directed as well, The Stag and Handsome Devil, is that you write such interesting people. When you're creating them, do you live with them for a while before you throw them onto the keyboard, or do they just fall out for you?
Well, they're all me to a greater or lesser extent, and I'm aware of the emotional exposure that involves in admitting to that. But I don't have another mode of writing. I'm not a very research-driven person. It's for me, it's like emotional architecture of how a person is made and how they live their life. And I think we all feel things the same way, no matter where we're from or how we look or what kind of money we earn. And as such, it just starts in terms of a feeling. You know, I think all art is about the creation of feeling, I feel, you know. And you could even say that about cities. I think cities are a feeling too. So, you know, if you want to write a film that's set in Los Angeles, you're trying to evoke the way that you feel when you're there, rather than think of it in literal terms. Like, there's no Pink's hot dog stand in this film. There's no, you know, Hollywood sign. Like, it's the feeling that a city engenders, and it's the feeling that a character engenders too. So those are always the starting points for me. And when I get tired of writing about myself, I probably have to retire. But I'm too old to retrain in any other aspect. So here we are.
And you've talked about that in each of your films, because we've talked about how you put yourself on the screen so much in these characters. That's so challenging. I mean, how do you allow yourself that opportunity?
I don't consider it a challenge. I really don't. I'm absolutely obsessed with relaying emotional truth. The art that I respond to the most as a viewer or a reader or a consumer is related to the pursuit of emotional truth. And I think it would be far more taxing on oneself to be creating art whose purpose is to conceal that. Like, I don't see another way of doing it. Like, and I'm not being coy or talking around it. I just don't have another way of approaching the world. I do really think that life is so dumb and meaningless. But I actually take that in a really positive way, because I think while we're here, kind of connecting with people and finding a way to feel good about ourselves and each other is everything, And so it's not even a technique, it's just a way of living, Like I said, I don't have another way of doing it, so.
Fantastic.
So there won't be any rock operas out of me for quite a while.
Alejandro and Matt, the relationship the two of you built in the film, I mean, it just grows so naturally and so beautifully. How did you do that with the film? Was it something that just came naturally? Did you spend a lot of time before, or did you spend no time before and just let it sort of come out?
We actually had, I think, a week of rehearsal where we got the chance to meet and practice. For me, it was just being open. I mean, with an actor being your partner here, and being just as open as he is, it just came easy. It just came easy, and John leading the way in that respect. It was an easy thing for me. That's on my side. That's all I got.
And we were lucky enough to do a good amount of it, somewhat sequentially.
That's all you had to say, darling. This good?
You never fucking said that about me.
Step out of the shadows, John. Step out of the shadows. Come on. Walk into the light. Sorry.
We were lucky to... I can't answer the fucking question now. We were lucky enough to do a lot of it sequentially, right? So we were able to kind of let our relationship track somewhat sequentially as we were shooting as well, and I think that helped a lot. And just sort of there's such a sense of freedom when John is your director. He allows some improvisation and throws some things at you that keep it somewhat fresh. And I think those little moments are a lot of them, what I felt really started to bond our characters. Yeah.
Like you said, the sequential part of shooting, it just builds and builds and builds in that respect. And thanks to John, because I have a very, my face is very expression. You know what I mean? I got a lot of expression, and we had a little deal that I told him when I was auditioning. I said, make sure that I don't make big faces and stuff, character-wise. So we had a rating system. Pull it down to a 5, or up to a 7. So that helped me out a lot, John. Thank you very much.
It's the Ernesto scale.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions from the audience? Yes, right here, the blonde lady. Yes.
No is the answer to the second part, but there's something. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, you don't have a mic. Sorry, it's the question, if I'm paraphrasing correctly, is whether I have something against young people, because the old people in the film are either objects of desire, and then the young guy steals Sean's phone. So that's kind of it, right? And I would say that it's an interesting thing as a gay writer and director to approach the idea of discrimination in our community and certain aspects of favoritism that we show towards different body types and different ages. So there is an element of interest there for me as a writer to poke around in that on the part of Sean's character. You know, I think that's an interesting thing to me. I'm not married to the idea of this objective body that is desired. So certainly that aspect of it was conscious. But the kid on the skateboard was just a kid on a skateboard, and I don't think we would have bought a 58-year-old on a skateboard in that scene. I personally would have loved to have seen that, but... So I hope that answers the question.
The gentleman over here. The question is the PAPI CHULO. What does that mean?
PAPI CHULO, it literally means cool daddy. But it's like in the Latino... I should let Alejandro answer that, actually. But it's like a sexy, cool guy. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, pretty much. Chulos is like, for female chula, beautiful, pretty. Same thing with male chulo. Sexy, if you want to put it that way. Yeah, sexy person, sexy guy.
As to who the PAPI CHULO is, I have no comment.
Sexy.
Try Googling PAPI CHULO, but don't put film next to it and see what you get.
This man speaks with experience.
Yeah, maybe. But we've got one last question. We're going to take the lady over here.
I love the film. I thought it was great. And I live right next to Eagle Rock, and you captured the coyotes really well and all of that. I was curious about the scene in the car with you guys singing Borderline. Was that improvised? Because it felt so natural and so, I love it.
The question lady had was about the scene in the car where they're singing Borderline, and was that improvised, or was that something that John wrote?
Well, at the time, we weren't sure what song we were going to be able to get the rights to. So we did one take of 3 different songs. So that was one take. I think it was one take, right?
2 takes on each.
2 takes on each, sorry. And then Madonna was kind enough to grant us her song. So
yeah,
it ended up being that one.
And I will say a testament to these guys is that the lightness of touch in their performance, I think, creates the feeling that it's improvised or natural. But I would say weeks before that day, there was work put in, and then the work is thrown away. So the appearance of naturalism is, faultless. So that's on them.
That's my karaoke song, so...
Ladies and gentlemen, John Butler and the cast and crew of PAPI CHULO.